I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, and I pay respects to elders past, present and future, and I acknowledge and pay my respects to any Indigenous person, Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander, who is with us here this afternoon, and I thank them for their tolerance and for their welcoming of us to country. John Maney, partner Deloitte Access Economics, Matt Tyndale, great new title at LinkedIn, fantastic to see, and Mark Stone, great friend, Mark Stone AM, CEO of Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I acknowledge Stuart Hamilton, who is a Deakin Council member, and I thought Stuart walked in. Stuart is here. Yeah, Stuart, you are here. I thought maybe you've gone to a different event. No, you're here. And who is, of course, chair of the Deakin Digital Board and has helped get us to this point here. Guests, one and all, it's fantastic to see a full room. It's very nice to welcome you to Deakin Downtown. That's what we call this place. It's not Docklands, it's downtown. It's our city centre. It's not a university campus yet. It's a city centre. I think it is a campus of the future. Time will tell that these places will mostly be busy between 6 at night and 3 in the morning. And that's when the students will be here, and they'll most probably be upstairs, and they'll probably be with industry. It's very nice also. It's the first event of DeakinCo. And to Simon and the team, to Stuart, to Simon and the whole team, it's fantastic that we have DeakinCo, which is a merger which combines Deakin Prime, which you'd know, a fantastic track record, 25 years of history in corporate education, corporate training, together with the wannabe Deakin Digital, a company of the future around credentials, and we've brought them together under one simple banner, DeakinCo, to ensure that we cover all of the needs of the communities that we serve. And it's very nice that we've managed to get there with such a slick name and only 12 months of arguing about the logo and the title. So tonight we launched Soft Skills for Business Success. DeakinCo engaged Deloitte Access Economics to undertake the analysis of soft skills and their importance. It's a report that will inform national debate, we hope, around the issues that is of critical importance to Australia's future workforce as it evolves in a workplace that is being transformed by new ideas and by things outside our country, new products, new processes, new services, and the competition from everyone. So we're on the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution, and it's fair to say that many of us think that probably our current and future workforces are less prepared than we probably need to be to take our place in the competitive world. So the fourth industrial revolution is changing the way education is delivered, accessed, assessed, and perceived. And I've been talking a bit of late saying, people, dry your tears. You are very fortunate to be alive in the fourth industrial revolution 4.0. To use the German terms, it was a term defined by the Germans to keep their place in Europe. So what was the original revolution? And in 1844, for the historians in the room, it was the Gutenberg Bible. And the Gutenberg Bible was published in Gutenberg on the first automated printing machine. And 20 years later, the monasteries were back to being what they'd always been, except for this brief period of commercial need, where they were religious entities. And all the interpreters and all the writers and all of that big industry across the whole of Europe was gone. They mostly died of starvation. They were driven out of monasteries because they were no longer needed, because people learned to read and write in the blink of an eye, and the rest is pretty much history from that particular Bible. Millions of people lost their jobs. Relative to today, much more than the disruption we're currently going through. Even though we're a much bigger population, it's actually happening slightly slower. Everyone says it's faster, faster, faster. Well, imagine how fast it would be if there's only one job earner. There are 11 or 19 children, which was the average in those days. You have no social security. There is no antibiotic. So for the jobs of the future, I say for those of us in the fourth industrial revolution, in the 4.0, we know that the jobs of a lifetime won't last a lifetime, but we live in an environment where we can take these things into our own hands. And particularly to the people in the room who are under under 50, under 40, under 30. I dream of being any of those ages. This is a great time, I think, for you to be optimistic and to say, well, what can I do? We know that there will be multiple career shifts, but then I've had multiple career shifts. So I'm sure Mark would tell you about his multiple career shifts, as can Simon, who is now running a new co, with all the things and all the skills that you need of a new co. We need to worry less about what the actual jobs will be, I think, and more about equipping our people to be thoughtful, to be entrepreneurial, and to be forward-looking. The skills with the longest shelf life will be, as they've always been, the uniquely human skills: teamwork, cultural empathy, communication, EI, emotional intelligence, problem solving, critical thinking. These are the skills that in the past were often denigrated. I certainly learned none of those as a young scientist doing science. It was never considered important. There's not much about the Krebs cycle, if you're a biochemist, that I don't know. Completely useless today. But the soft skills are to be critical, to write, to argue, to have a view and to think about anyone says and say, is that really true? Could that possibly be wrong? These are the skills that I think we need, that the future employers will need. In an age, I think, of quantities of data that are beyond us, information is beyond us, just keeping up with a few things on your phone is almost impossible these days in terms of the amount of news that comes up. You know, I decided when President Trump got elected that I'd follow his journey. I've conceded defeat on that. I just simply cannot keep up with it, and I only occasionally now jump in when something really horrifying happens. My God, that can't be right, because you can't keep up with it. So how do we deal nimbly? How will the next generation sitting in the front, not so much them, how will you with the ambiguous knowledge that you're about to have, the accumulation of facts, how will you take all of that and turn it into something useful for the communities that you will serve? So soft skills are getting the attention they deserve. That leads us to credentials. Credentials will provide a solution for how we recognise some of the skills that people acquire in their jobs, in their work, in the things that they do in their community. I think credentials will help businesses allocate the right training, the right development at the right time for the right person. And so just as iTunes unbundled songs from a CD, the work of DeakinCo will enable a qualification to be disaggregated into its component parts. Industry knowledge, cultural knowledge, professional skills, leadership skills, on-the-job training, evidence of achievement, networking opportunities, team building, converting experience, individual experience and learning throughout a lifetime into something that is recognisable and useful for employability. We can all hope for that, and if we all think about that, doesn't matter how long, just 6 months into a job, you will develop skills that are transferable. All of this will take us to a brave new world, I think. And I think, you know, we're a university, we are not immune. I'm absolutely clear that Deakin's strategy to go to the digital frontier, education for the jobs of the future, research that makes a difference, but at the digital frontier has been the right strategy because you can sense it in the air. Industrial Revolution 4.0 is alive and well. And we are not going to be a music company owned by an IT company. We are not going to be a transportation company that's part of a software package at Uber. And we're certainly not going to be a hotel with no people in it. So we will continue to educate the people of the future for the jobs of their future. And hopefully we'll do it in a way that is useful and helpful and affordable for the communities we serve. It's very nice to be here. Congratulations to DeakinCo and from Stuart of Council that we actually have a company that is fit for purpose. To all of you, congratulations for coming. I hope you enjoy this afternoon's event, and I hope that what we do together will be useful to the communities that we collectively serve in this great nation. Thanks very much.